Hello everyone, my name is William Miller, and today I'm doing a quick demonstration of the Samsung Note 10.1 tablet using LectureNotes as a tool for doing math homework. I'm a returning college student and I'm back in college getting an engineering degree. And when I restarted college, I realized that there were many advances in word processing that allowed us to write without resorting to pencil and paper. But when it comes to mathematics, most of the computer-based tools are pretty clunky. Fortunately, I was able to discover this Samsung Note tablet, and it's got a lot of features that really improve the process of doing math homework. Start off with, I have no affiliation with Samsung. I just think they make a good product. I have no affiliation with LectureNotes, the application we're using. So let me dive right in here and give you a quick overview of the tablet, and then we'll jump into the software. We'll do a little demonstration with a few steps of an equation so you can see how easy it is to manipulate math formulas using the tools we have. As a little note, I'm using a video camera rather than a screen capture for this demonstration because I want you to see the outline of the tablet, the tool I'm using, and how I use the tool. The video camera doesn't really do justice to this display. This is an excellent display. It's crisp, it's sharp, it's bright, and don't rely on what you're seeing here on this demonstration to judge the quality of the display on this tablet. Let me tell you what is the most unique feature about this tablet, and that is this stylus. This stylus is an electronic active stylus, and it interacts with the screen. It's made by a company named Wacom, who makes the screen and the stylus, and it's different from most other tablets out there. You can get a stylus for an iPad or run-of-the-mill tablets, but all they are is like a mechanical finger. They don't have the same programmable interaction with the tablet that this tool does. This tool allows you to program the tablet so that it'll respond to the stylus in one way, it'll respond to the palm in another way, primarily by rejecting the palm, and then allows you to use your fingers to manipulate the tablet. So it's a real advanced system. This is a 10.1 inch tablet. They make a 12.2 inch tablet. There are other active stylus tablets out there, but only the Android operating system has this LectureNotes application. And I have found it, with a fair amount of research, to be probably the best tool for the job here. Another quick run around some of the features of this tablet. Tablet's only got three basic controls. It's got a home button, a back button, and a menu button. And it also has the feature that this stylus has a little port that it plugs into so you don't misplace the tablet when you're traveling around. So I'm going to go ahead and launch LectureNotes here, and we're going to go right into it, and we're going to start right with the home screen. It's the notebook board. I'm going to take a moment and zoom in here, and I'll get kind of close into this tablet so I can get the best display I can for us here while we do this little demo. It may cut off just a little bit of the screen, but I'll work in the top half of it, and we'll give you the best chance you have to see what we're doing here. What we see are two folders, and we know they're folders because there's a little diagonal line on the icon. And I've arranged my work into three folders: personal, education, and work. I'm going to open the personal folder, which is where I've kept this demo we're doing. And now we've got some notebooks. The notebooks are highly customizable. I'm going to open a setting for this notebook real quick, just give you a quick view. You name the notebook, you can pick the size. This is set up as a 1600 by 2264 pixels, approximating the size and aspect ratio of a portrait sheet in letter size. You've got different backgrounds. You've got plain, ruled, checkered, which is the same as a grid. Apparently you can import an image I haven't done, and there's some customization. You can select the size of your pattern, the color of the paper, the color of the pattern, and the color of the cover. So I'm going to go ahead and back right here out here, and we're going to open up this particular notebook right here. And here we've got a problem I've worked, and we're going to start over again with this just to give you a little idea on what the capabilities are. As you can see, I am scrolling here with my finger. I can also pinch and zoom. So you can get right in and work with whatever level of detail you want in order to do the kind of work you need to do. Now, there's a quick rundown of the controls. Here's the pen control. Got the pen window open. It's got some standard pens, some customizable pens, and then some shapes that you can use, standard and customizable shapes. The eraser menu is here. Here's the edit menu. It's an icon of a little razor knife. This little hand here is how you manipulate pages. And then the other tools that I use the most, there's a layer function. It's got up to 3 layers, works quite well. And the undo and a redo, and this is your share button. You can export any of your work as a notebook file, which is proprietary to this application, or you can share PDFs. You can share a page at a time in the way of PDFs. You can share the whole notebook, or you can even share a layer at a time. This is a multitasking tablet to bring in some other tasks. Oops, we're going to undo that. Striking in from the right edge here, we see we've got a number of things we can do, different applications. We're going to just go ahead and jump right into Adobe Acrobat. Okay, now that we've got our textbook open as a PDF in this right-hand window, we can go ahead and show you another built-in function for this tablet. This stylus has got a little button on the side, and when you press the button when you've got the pen near the window, you get this pen control here, and it's got a number of different applications. I'll let you learn the rest of them yourself. We're going to use the Scrapbooker. And the scrapbook function is a built-in function for the Android tablet. We're doing problem number 19. When I engage that, I get a little blue pen there, and I just strike it from one corner to the other, and we have captured our problem right there in the scrapbook. It's basically a clipboard function. So once we accept that, we're going to go ahead and close the PDF window. We're right back to our problem. And we want to paste from Scrapbook into our problem. So when I press and hold this home button, it becomes a task switcher. And right in this window here, I can select the Scrapbook. There is the clip we just made. This icon right here is share. I'm going to share image and text. I'm going to share that into LectureNotes. It'll take us right back to LectureNotes, right where we left off. And here's our selection here. It's surrounded by 4 options as indicated by these little colored icons. I could undo the selection and make it go away with that one, with this, which is the red X up there. With this blue icon, I could rotate or reverse. I could mirror image this selection. This right here allows me to resize our selection. And up here means I'm going to, if I tap that green arrow, it means I'm going to accept the selection that I have. So I've placed that up here in the top in an appropriate location, down a little bit. This line right here, by the way, is the page break, a little bit over from the left margin there. And there's our problem. And the benefit, of course, of doing that, as I might have mentioned, is we have an exact replica of the problem. It's a real neat starting point for the next problem, and it ensures that we're not going to copy that problem incorrectly. So we're ready to just demonstrate a couple steps here. I'm just going to do a few steps of this one problem, make this demonstration as short as I can while still demonstrate some of the key functions. So I've selected the black pen. I've rewritten the formula, and by the way, just note here how easy it is just to scroll and zoom and get right to where you want to get. There's our problem. I've recopied it and made the first step. We're doing a derivative of this particular equation. So I've taken the first step here, I've taken the second step here, and I'm about ready to take the third step. And as we know in mathematics, if you're learning a function for the first time, you're going to want to take it slow and easy. It means you're going to change just maybe 1, maybe 2 things for each step in your process, and that means a lot of the equation is going to remain unchanged. So the best way to do that is we're just going to copy this. So we've selected the little razor knife icon. I've drawn a rectangle around it. I could undo that selection there. I could recolor it with the paint pot. I could cut it with the scissors, but I'm going to choose the copy mode. Here's another exact duplicate of my formula. I'm going to bring it down here and put it in an appropriately located spot right there, and I think that's going to work for us right about there. Try to line up a fraction line with a grid line. Yeah, I can move it anytime I want though. See, that's the beauty of this application on this tool. I select the check mark that accepts this location here, and I need to process just this little part of the equation and this little part of the equation. And the rest of the equation remains the same, so let's get to it. Selected the eraser. I'm just going to lasso that section, and I'm going to lasso that section. Go over here with a pen, select the black pen, and I know that the derivative of x plus y is 1 plus 1 times y primed, close quantity, and then I know the derivative of x minus y is 1 minus 1 times y primed, close quantity. And there I'm done. So I've copied the program, made a few minor changes, and all along I've got the option to kind of restructure this thing. I want to move this numerator down a little bit, so I just very carefully select it, cut it, lay it down right there, and there we go. So that's the next step. I previously had copied that step down to this step. I don't need that 1 times. I don't need that 1 times. Those just disappear as part of this equation. So I cut it and I erased those. Okay. Then I copied the whole thing again, copied it down here, and then I erased the whole top line because the top line gets rewritten as I distribute the values in this parentheses to this parentheses, and again distribute these values to this quantity, and I end up with this formula right here. Because we've got to distribute this negative into this quantity here. So let's do that first. So the way we do that is we know we've got a negative x. We can just get rid of that parentheses. And then a negative times a negative is a positive. A negative times a positive we know is going to be a negative right here. And then again, a negative times a negative will be a positive. And then get rid of this parentheses here. Bingo. We've distributed that negative to all of these values. Double checking a negative, positive, negative, and positive. So that's that step, which we actually needed to do before we gathered our terms. I'm going to go ahead and copy that, bring that down. Now I'm going to colorize these terms and make it a little easier to keep track of them. So as you can see, with a little practice, you can get pretty good. I've selected Paint Pot. Okay, selected Paint Pot. Okay. I'm going to go up to my pen window, pick the next color, the selection tool, select Paint Pot, OK. That's the Y terms. We're doing our Y terms here. Select Paint Pot, OK. Then let's pick one more color and let's drop a blue in here. We've got our Y primed X colors. And select Paint Pot, OK. Got our Y primed X, select Paint Pot, OK. And then last but not least, let's throw a little purple in here. We've got our Y primed Ys, select Paint Pot, OK. And let's just double check here. We selected the wrong one, no problem. It's real easy to get back in there. Select Paint Pot, OK. We've got our Y primed Ys, our purple. Select Paint Pot, OK. So now we've got a good clear visual image of what we need to do here to gather these terms. We're just going to select it, copy it, drop it down here. Let's process these terms. It just takes a moment. We'll gather them. Look closely here. We have a plus x and a minus x. So we're going to go ahead and take our eraser, get rid of that plus x, get rid of that minus x. They cancel out. We've got a negative y primed y and a positive y primed y. Let's just take those values and get rid of them. Now these values remain because they're going to add to a negative 2y and add to a positive 2y primed x. So let's go ahead and just get these y values gathered. First thing is let's go ahead and get rid of that y and get rid of that negative, and we'll make that a negative 2. Okay, so we've added a negative y and a negative y is a negative 2y. Now let's take our y primed x's, get rid of those, stick with our color scheme here, and we know that's a 2 y primed x. Sticking with our color scheme, our plus sign will be black. And let's just clean this up. Lasso it, cut it, move it, lasso it, cut it, move it. Lastly, let's just get rid of these extensions there, and we've gone from step number 5 to step number 6 in very short order. And what we've done is we've proceeded in a very routine, very organized, very neat fashion. We know what we're doing, we're clear on the process, we're going to eliminate errors, and then plus we're going to be able to export this, print it out, hand it in as a very neat completed assignment. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this demonstration at this time. I have covered the main points that I want to about this hardware and software tool and its application to math homework. I've showed you how that you can cut from a PDF, drop it into LectureNotes, how you can proceed with the math problem by using the powerful cut and paste tools, allow you to go step by step modifying an equation one segment at a time. And I've also shown how you can bring a little color into an equation to help direct your attention to the various parts of an equation, allow you to keep on track and keep a very clear line of logic as you're doing your problem. There's much more to cover with this tool. It's a very complex tool. I'd like to come back with another couple trainings on this particular tool, so keep an eye on this YouTube channel. Next time we'll be covering some of the different pen styles and customization. We'll also cover in future videos the custom drawing tools, and then at some point I'd like to get to all of the main settings for this application. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of them and they're poorly documented. But we'll leave it at that for now. I really appreciate your watching. I hope this inspires some of you to find better tools for your math homework, and good luck with your studies.